Welcome back to the show, everybody. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I have two very important announcements that I want to share with you very quickly. One is from Link2. You know it's the best home in the world for private equity. And listen, there are industries going crazy right now, like AI. I want to tell you, remember NVIDIA stock going crazy? You know it's going crazy. Well, think about this. Anthropic will be back on the Link2 platform today and is a #1 competitor to OpenAI and the maker of ChatGPT. You could get that as private equity today. By the way, Amazon loves Anthropic so much, they've invested $4 billion into that company. So this is your opportunity right now to be able to have access to the same product, the same private equity that Amazon is investing $4 billion alongside. So what an amazing opportunity. Don't forget to do that. And listen, there's one more opportunity. Once you go there, sign up, register, fund your account. It takes less than 5 minutes. You could do the whole thing and be in there and buying right beside Amazon. And then I want to ask you to do this as a call to action. This is about preserving our country. This is about making sure that America is a leader in the fourth industrial revolution, which is a blockchain distributed ledger technology revolution. And it's very real. And this is a public service announcement. It is time to put Senator Warren and her anti-crypto army out of their misery. I don't know how many of you are able to join Meta Lawman's fundraiser for John Deaton in Austin, Texas, which is based around the Consensus Conference. But it would really be meaningful if we could all try to contribute something to support John and make Meta Lawman's event a huge success. And that's what we need to do. And all you got to do is click this link right here. You'll get all the information and the ability to support them. That's all you have to do, and it's going to be an amazing event. And listen, we know what kind of leader John Deaton is. He is a proven leader. We just need to get Massachusetts to understand that too, and it's a no-brainer, and it will be the best thing for Massachusetts and the country. There's no question about that. Please do everything that you can. I know I'm going to. All right, now let's get into the program today, ladies and gentlemen.
Do it.
All right, we are back with the one and only Miles Franklin's Andy Schectman. Andy, how are you this morning?
I'm all right, my man. I'm doing well, thanks. Good to be back. Good to see you. And your show was fantastic. I know we haven't really talked much since then. It was an honor to be there. And you guys did a hell of a job for a couple of people or several people, whoever was involved in a back room there that doesn't typically put on trade shows for a living. You had me fooled. You did an amazing job, and it was great to be part of it.
Hey, man, thank you so much. It was great to have you a part of it. Privilege and an honor. And, you know, my secret weapon is my wife, like I know for you as well. You know, she really is a secret weapon. But I've been in the entertainment industry for 30 years, so I kind of got an idea and a feel for these things to a degree. So even though it is a huge different step and shift for a lane for me to live in, but thank you.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Playing music is different than putting on a trade show in Vegas, and you know, it was very well run. The catering, the spacing, it was just great. It was, and I've been to a lot of them over the last 15 years. It was right up there with the best. So
thank you, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Well, thank you. And we will have you back next year. And I know we're going to have some great conversations. So let's talk about this. It's been a big week for crypto, Andy. The SAB 121 was repealed, shutting down the SEC's actions a bit. We had the FIT 21 Act get passed from now this is all in the House, but this has been bipartisan. So that's what makes it so powerful. And knowing that they've been having conversations with the FIT 21 Act with Senator Schumer as well over in the Senate. So he kind of he's kind of given the House a nudge to say, you know, yeah, you guys get the support, put that through. We'll be able to handle it from here at the Senate.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's about time. It just seems that the bipartisanship is you know, one side wants to regulate and get the ball rolling and get into the 21st century, and the other side is all they're concerned about, it seems, is trying to draw a connection between, cryptocurrencies and illicit activity. And it's one of the things that bothers me the most about the current political environment we have, where there's just so much infighting. There's so much disconnection. We can never get on the same page about something that's so relevant and so important. So maybe, just maybe, this is a step in the right direction. Of course, it does have a big hurdle to clear moving into the Senate, but yeah, it's a step in the right direction for sure.
It truly is. And I'm super excited because, again, I see the macro things taking place here to deal with why all of this has been front and center anyway, which is the US dollar and the weakness and the printing and the debt and then this political shifts that are taking place around the world. I want to spin us very quickly because we'll get all of this tied back in here. But there was an announcement, I just covered it, was either yesterday or the day before, and 10 Asian nations are now considering, and then we're talking about Philippines, Malaysia, Laos, Vietnam, other nations like these are, these are major nations here considering joining the BRICS coalition now, along with the 40 plus others that we've heard about, including Saudi Arabia. Andy, your thoughts here?
Yeah, it's a growing coalition. Sides are being chosen, no question about it. And, I start to wonder, where does Japan fit into all of this? At some point, they need to make a decision as well. Yeah, I mean, we were told recently that 36 countries have formally applied on top of the 10 that are already BRICS members. And this is big. I mean, the big meeting comes in February, in October, pardon me, in October, the big meeting in Russia. Now, there's some rumors that at the end of May here, there's actually going to be a meeting. Now, if we go back to the beginning of the year, they announced there would be 200 BRICS-related meetings leading up to the big meeting in October. And Andrew Maguire, a guy that I really, really like a lot, we do work together, but he's front and center on a lot of what's going on in the metals business, is talking about the fact that there is an announcement likely to be made at the end of May about a joint settlement currency that we've all been talking about. And in fact, he's even gone as far as saying that their gold-backed new digital currency has been beta tested for the last few months. And that is part of the reason you've seen such a floor under the price of gold. And it's interesting, too, there's something called exchange for physical, which I'd like to touch on in a moment. But that has just been showing tremendous flows of gold leading from the COMEX to China, and it would support what Andrew is saying. So look, what we are looking at really is a once in a generation shift away from one settlement currency, one settlement system onto another one, where these countries in and of themselves, all the ones that you just mentioned, would never have had the ability, the sophistication, the wealth, the coordination to stand up to the West, to issue something new, but they are finding safety in numbers. And, the 36 countries that have formally applied, we don't know really who they are. We have a good idea, but when you start talking about the Eurasian continent joining in mass, it becomes very significant. And I think that there will be more countries that will shock and awe people because sides will be chosen. Some of the Western-friendly countries have a decision to make. And I think it's get ready, because over the next few months, Brad, I'm telling you, man, over the next few months, look, in October, we have this big meeting, which is groundbreaking, really. Who is going to be introduced? Are they going to issue a new settlement currency? Will it be pegged to gold like Sergei Glaziev has told us it will be? A basket of commodities and a basket of currencies? I believe all these answers are yes. And also, I believe all these answers will become much more clear in the coming days and weeks leading up to the big meeting in October, only 1 month short of probably the biggest election in the history of this country. Man, it's going to get nuts over the next few months. I hope people are paying close attention because I think it's just getting started right now.
I think you make such a great point. And, I want to, I know most, the regular listeners know this, but I want to say this for, the audience as a level set moment for people, because there's new people coming into the channel every day and their level of knowledge might not be where everyone else is. there is a very specific reason that you're here with us on this channel. There's a very specific reason that we had you at XRP Las Vegas. And it is because we are, in fact, watching a great transformation of the financial system and the monetary system. We are, when we talk about 10 countries considering joining the BRICS coalition,
36 on top of the 10.
On top of the 10, right? And one of those is France. France has even announced that they would like to join BRICS. Germany has kind of dangled the carrot a little bit as well. So you're talking about a completely different landscape look when it comes to the financial fractional payment world that is taking shape to what we currently have. So when we have Andy Schectman, I want the audience to understand this isn't just a pump a gold bag. This is to deal with the fact that gold and technology are going to underpin the shift of this new financial system and the monetary system like we've never witnessed it before, like no one alive has ever witnessed it before. And I find it to be really, really critical week that we see all of the headwinds turn now for crypto. The SAB 121 getting knocked down, the FIT 21 Act passing the House, knowing that it's got strong favor to hit the Senate, knowing that we go from that to now we see the Ethereum ETF approval. These ETF approvals are signaling to me, Andy, that we know USD Tether, the only digital dollar, or the largest digital dollar, not the only, but the largest digital dollar offered to the market, in and out of this market. It's interesting to me because when I see a Bitcoin ETF approved and the Ethereum ETF approved, I have a signal in my head go off, say, okay, and at the same time, U.S. Congress is testifying that USD Tether is in fact a target for them because they've done illicit things and this, that, and the other, right? And then I start saying, wow, you know, if I was a government and I wanted to rein in this crypto market and this technology, how would I do it? And if I wanted certain things to continue to live and certain things to die, this is what I would do. I would approve ETFs to create a new source of liquidity to those things that I wanted to live, right? Like the Bitcoin ETF and the Ethereum ETF. Now I got money flowing into that and it doesn't have to do with exchanges or USD Tether, okay? Then I could say, what if I wanted as a government to rein this space in and crash Tether? Then I could force the treasuries that are backed by Tether, which are really helping the Fed because they've been manipulating that whole market through Tether, I believe. They push those when they're ready into a transparent stablecoin like USDC and the new dollar stablecoin that's getting ready to launch with Ripple. And now I've pushed the money into the transparent place that's regulated by the government. And those 20,000 cryptos that don't do a damn thing but pump and dump are gone. Because if you squash Tether, then you absolutely eliminate the in and out, the on and off ramp to all these little altcoins that are pretty much scammy.
Well, it makes great sense. On one hand, you appease the Democrats who are focused on the illicit activities, and on the other hand, you level the playing field, at least in terms of the cryptos that offer legitimate use and I think inspire confidence. And I agree, it makes a great deal of sense in what you're saying. Now, just going back to, you said a couple of things just to touch on France. You know, Macron did ask to go in August of last year to the meeting in Johannesburg. He was turned down. He asked late, actually, and I don't think they were ready to bring in a member of the G7 into the fold. But yeah, he did actually go and visit Xi Jinping and struck a deal, 50 trade agreements ranging from 5G technology to military engagement. He did place a very large liquid natural gas purchase with the United Arab Emirates and paid for it in yuan. So, you know, there is certainly validity in your statement about sides being chosen and even our allies who were right there with us at the beginning when we started sanctioning Russia at the beginning of the Ukraine war. Sides are being chosen. To your point about the new system, look, I've been saying for 3 years that there will be a marriage between blockchain technology and gold. And the one point I tried to get across at your show, look, I'm a neophyte when it comes to cryptocurrencies. I've been doing this since I was 19 years old. I've focused on metals, but but in a macro sense, I look at the world in a very large picture. I don't look at the micro. And that's why I have made a big point about saying that our two camps are more aligned than people may think. The one thing that bothers me the most is the infighting and the mutual exclusivity between cryptos and metals. It shouldn't be that way. They should be united. They should be complementary of one another. And I think that's what the new system will be. It will be transparency backed by something that can't be manipulated away, that can't be inflated away. And this is why I think you're seeing a floor under the price of gold. It was reclassified the world's only other tier one asset by the BIS in 2019. And the central banks are buying it off the charts because it will be part of a new system, to peg to a new system, and using the rails of something like XRP to show the immutability, the veracity, and to create immediacy in the way funds are transacted. I just as a side note, I met a client here at my house or in my community not too long ago who sold me $25 gold liberties, circulated gold liberties. And without jumping into what that is, I wrote him a check for $12,000. And it cleared my account the next day. And he called me up and he said, yeah, JP Morgan won't release the funds for 10 days. I'm like, well, you know, the funny thing about that is it's already cleared my account. So when you talk about the need for a new system, it's real. There's no question about it that we are in an antiquated system that is changing by the day. But when you look at a system or a country that is creating $1 trillion of debt, and remember, 1 trillion seconds ago was 31,688 years ago. When you have a system creating $1 trillion of debt every 100 days, a country addicted to spending most of it so asinine you can't make it up, we definitely need a new system, one that will be transparent, a la blockchain, and immutable. And having something behind it, pegged to it, to give it stability, to give it legitimacy, to take the ability of governments, which have gone all the way back to Roman times. You know, the coins, most, except for the penny and the nickel, which are not part of the Constitution, because the Constitution says that money has to be gold and silver. So the penny and the nickel never had it, because silver prior to 1965 was our currency. Dimes, quarters, half dollars, and dollars were silver, right? That's part of the Constitution. And the nickel and the penny weren't, so they don't have the ridges. What I'm getting at is that the reason there are ridges on coins go all the way back to Roman times. They would just cut a little bit around the edges, a little bit. You do that enough, you have enough to make a bunch more coins. You're debasing, you're inflating. That's exactly what they do. So there are ridges on the coins to show that no one's trimmed it. And just to go to show how much our government lies to the public, why the hell did they still have the etching on the sides of the dimes and the quarters when since 1965 they pulled the silver out? It's like they just want to continue to facilitate this facade. And this is exactly what the marriage between cryptocurrency and a commodity like gold will do. Eliminate the ability of the governments to lie to us, to continue this facade, and to inject sound money into a system that is deadly, really very much in need of it. It's like taking this glass, let's pretend it's glass instead of plastic, and I smash it against the floor into a million pieces. How the hell do you ever put it back together? Well, that is what is happening to the credibility of the system, of the dollar, of the treasury market. And we are right on the cusp of it. And the things that you say about regulating, about creating a system that inspires trust, about getting rid of the system where we have a feeling that there is corruption, that there is that there are things that are just not right. Yeah, I think it appeases both sides. I think it adds a lot of credibility into a system. And we are really at the foothills of crossing a Rubicon into a new system. And I think people need to understand that it's not going to just be cryptocurrencies. It's not going to just be gold. It will be a marriage of the two to inspire confidence and immutability and veracity and transparency, and take the ability of governments to destroy currencies through inflation the way they have all the way back to Roman times, take that out of the equation. And this is why I was excited to come to your conference as someone who knows jack shit about cryptocurrencies, but trying every day to learn more and more and more without falling into the rhetoric of, one side is better and the other side's dumb. No, I think you have to have an open mind and look at this pragmatically. And that's why I'm excited to be part of what you're doing every Friday, and why I was excited to be part of your show.
Oh man, and we're so excited to have you, Andy, because you bring a wealth of knowledge to us. Trust me, this isn't just you taking from me. I can tell you, we take from you here on the channel too. You have such an incredible insight and perspective of the space. And speaking of that, I want to remind everybody that to this conversation about gold being a part of the system, right here in the United States, it was Alabama just passed in their state to eliminate income tax for gold and silver. That change is one of those changes right before they switch to make gold and silver legal tender again. So this is like a massive move that's happening here. And that's just one state. We know from the conference at XRPLV 24, Jason Cousins told us there's 25 states talking to him right now about making gold and silver legal tender again. So I think at the very least, people should take a long, hard look at what's in their portfolio, because I believe if you don't have gold and silver and other metals in your portfolio, you have a portfolio that's incomplete for where the world is going here. So, Andy, if you could tell them how to find you and your page and dig gold in the subject box. You just hit them.
Yeah, and one last point to what you just said. I'll take it one step further and say, if you are not a contrarian, you're going to be a victim. And if you are fully invested in dollars, you're going to go broke. And this is the whole reason you need to have an expansion in the way that you look at things. The best way would be to send us an email at info@milesfranklin. And is it Dig Gold? Is that what you are?
Yep, Dig Gold.
Yep. So you send us an email at info@milesfranklin, and in the subject line put Dig Gold. We will make sure that your listeners get white glove service. The prices on our website are nowhere near as good as the inventory list that we will send you if you ask for it. Now, you can ask questions about what you've heard here or anything else on your mind related to metals, and we will answer them, or just ask for the competitive price list. Put Dig Gold. You'll get our special Dig Gold price list, which will be far better than what you see on our website. And I guess I'd simply just say this, Brad. If I had to bet, I would say that the next few months leading up to the October meeting in BRICS and the BRICS meeting in Russia and the election are going to probably be the craziest of my career and maybe of most of our lives. And it's time, I think, to really get serious about looking at the way things are moving. And although they are moving fast, my guess is they're going to start to accelerate exponentially over the next few months. So buckle up, and I can't wait to continue the conversation. I know there's going to be a lot to talk about each and every week, probably more than we even have time for.
Yeah, I think so too. Andy Schectman from Miles Franklin. Andy, thank you so much for being here.
Take it easy, buddy. Thank you, Brad.
You too, man. Talk soon.
All right.